In this video, I want to talk about brass knuckles, and I want to share with you 3 interesting facts. Stick around. I will by no means in this video share everything there is to know about brass knuckles, but I want to share 3 very interesting facts that a lot of people may not know. In case you're already curious, I got these beautiful brass knuckles and this single knuckle that's also a bottle opener from edcweapon.com. They've got some great stuff. This single knuckle here is like a clearance item for like $14.99 as it stands. Now these are made of full H59 brass. It's got an anti-slip surface and these are 17 millimeters thick. They're very beastly, very heavy. The first thing I want to share about brass knuckles that I find very interesting is their historical backdrop. But the one I want to point out in particular is the use of brass knuckles during the time of the American Civil War. The use of brass knuckles has been consistent across the world, but during the Civil War, it picked up some steam. There was a shortage of iron and other metals, and it led the soldiers to dig up other resources. And that ended up leading to the rise of custom brass knuckles. And underneath this umbrella, it's very interesting to note that the Presidential Guards of Lincoln carried these. And you can see a copy of these brass knuckles in Ford's Theater National Historical Site. The second thing I want to share with you is the proper way to hold brass knuckles, because a lot of people don't know this. Some people will take brass knuckles and put them on upside down like this. That will break your hand. The other improper way is to bring them all the way up, just like this. A lot of people bring them all the way up to the base of the knuckles here, and that too can hurt your hand. The proper way is right underneath the knuckles like this, because you get that support. You can see the support that runs through the hand. A lot of people push back on holding them like this because they say you're going to break your wrist. It's actually quite the opposite. You have good straight on support this way, and especially coming in with the hooks. This has something to rest against, whereas wearing it all the way up, you don't get that. All you have to do to see the difference and how it feels is hit something kind of sturdy like this and then bring it all the way up and hit something. You'll feel the difference. It hurts a lot more to be up here versus here or here. A weapon like this doesn't just have to be used as a punch or a hook, but it can also be hammer strikes and all sorts of different things. Hammer strikes from different directions. But if you use something like this, you have to have a good case because you're going to need one, which leads us to my next point. The third thing I want to share, and I'm sharing this because brass knuckles are so popular, but not only are they illegal in many, many countries around the world, they're also illegal in 21 states here in the U.S. I talk to people all the time in this world of EDC carry items, EDC weapons, and a lot of people really don't give a whole lot of mind to that kind of stuff, and they'll carry things. The only problem is when something happens and these things get used. So I will just tell you, it's very important to be up on the state laws with this kind of stuff, because you don't just have one EDC that you can choose from. You don't have to just choose brass knuckles. There's a lot of other things to choose. They're regulated the way they are because they do catastrophic damage. Anybody who's ever been hit by some can tell you. Brass knuckles can be a very effective equalizer when attacked by a larger opponent, you know, because you don't have to use these things in a lethal way. You can use them to do very non-lethal strikes to create some space. But man, you get some that's heavy. You get some like this, they can smash. One doesn't necessarily have to go with brass knuckles, although those are the heaviest and they hurt the worst. You also have the option of going with plastic knuckles. I did a review recently on the no metal knucks. They're very, very solid, hard plastic, very thick. I thought they were very good. And of course, the plastic knuckles are not as regulated. They're even legal in Canada. And if they're legal in Canada, they're pretty much legal just about anywhere. At the end of the day, though, a lot of these things come down to context. I tell people just to be up on state laws because it's just a healthy practice. Because, you know, if you ever were to get into a situation, even if you're innocent, you can get in deep waters with these kinds of things. Again, I haven't even scratched the surface with all there is to say about brass knuckles and the history of brass knuckles, but hopefully this has been a little something just to stir your interest up. And again, if you're interested in the knuckles here that I've put on display, you can check out www.edcweapon.com. They've got a lot to choose from. Click on the search bar in their product catalog and just see what's available. I'd love to hear your story about brass knuckles. Do you carry some? Which ones do you like the best? What's your favorite model, favorite style? Have you ever had to use brass knuckles in self-defense? I'd love to hear some testimonies in the comment section. And as always, thanks for watching. Take care.